This is the KitchenAid Artisan espresso machine, specifically designed for beginners while also aiming to look stylish and chic, ensuring it seamlessly fits into your kitchen or living room. And whether it manages to pull that off, we'll explore in this concise summary of our thorough espresso machine review video. Welcome back to this concise summary of our in-depth test video, where we thoroughly evaluated the KitchenAid Artisan espresso machine and its key performance features. So if you're looking to quickly find out what the machine does well and where it falls a bit short, you've absolutely come to the perfect spot. If you have more questions, check out the blog post below or take a look at the detailed review video we've uploaded on our main channel, Kaffeemacher, for all the in-depth insights. The KitchenAid Artisan costs around 350 to 400 euros depending on whether you come across cheaper deals available. It definitely falls into the entry-level segment of machines under 500 euros. And the question is, can it perform in that range? What does it do well and where might it have weaknesses? And which ones can you, or perhaps even quite easily, resolve with an upgrade, an enhancement, or by switching to a different tool or something along those lines? We've looked into that in great detail, and I can already share one thing with you up front. That's a good espresso machine. Especially for its price range, it delivers excellent performance and quality. It delivers a very precise brewing temperature after an incredibly short heating time of just 2 minutes, which is quite impressive, efficient, and reliable. That's genuinely excellent. We primarily focused on the medium and high temperature settings during our tests here. There's also a lower temperature level, and all these temperature levels make a noticeable difference, and they are really good. They are solid. They consistently deliver a good brew temperature, which is now or was within our target range of 92, 93, 94 degrees Celsius, depending on which coffee is being used. And the question always remains, how quickly does this specific type of machine heat up? And it's also quickly achievable here because it features a thermal block for efficient heating. Thermal block means that we don't have to heat up a large boiler here, but instead the brewing water, which is effectively used for brewing, is heated right at the moment it's actually needed. When it flows through this thermal block, it gets heated up, and that process is fully completed within just 2 minutes, making it incredibly efficient. So after 2 minutes, we're basically there. But, and this is one of the major weaknesses of the small KitchenAid Artisan espresso machine, then this actually really high quality portafilter comes into play, which unfortunately doesn't quite live up to the expectations set by the rest of the machine. This stainless steel portafilter is so heavy and impressively high quality. It weighs 650 grams, giving it a genuinely premium and solid feel right from the start. Just as we would expect from KitchenAid, which operates primarily in the mid to high price range, including their mixers and other kitchen appliances. Here, this high quality and mass, however, pose a significant problem, because even after 2 minutes, and not just after 5 minutes, this portafilter still isn't fully heated through. That doesn't work. We can't manage that with what the thermoblock provides here, and also not with what the brewing water delivers to heat up this massive portafilter all the way through, which is why the portafilter in turn cools down the coffee. To handle that issue, KitchenAid then came up with a solution, thinking, all right, we need to fix this. Then let's not have this espresso flow onto stainless steel, but instead direct it onto a plastic inlay, which naturally leads to more contamination issues. Additionally, I obviously find it inconvenient that my espresso then comes into contact with the plastic. It could have been easily avoided, honestly. Yeah, and then the espresso just flows directly into the cup, more or less. Because now we're dealing with the next issue. These two spouts are positioned so close together that it's actually not any easier to pull shots into 2 cups simultaneously at all. That's truly the entire concept of a portafilter with its double spout design. That means there are several pitfalls here, but the most critical in my opinion is clearly this whole temperature issue. We just can't seem to get it up to the right temperature. At least the espresso has already been brewed. That means if, after the heating process of around 2 minutes, you pull a hot water shot through the portafilter, then the screen is at least hot enough for brewing. Through the plastic inlay, the espresso doesn't cool down significantly, and afterwards you have a warm, hot espresso in the cup. Maybe not a super hot espresso. But yeah, the machine does kind of shoot itself in the foot a bit. What also holds it back actually are the included filters. They're not all up to the same quality level, which really limits the overall performance potential. As we would hope for in a good espresso machine, we'd also recommend considering an upgrade for those. It comes with a dual-walled basket, perfect for brewing old coffee or pre-ground coffee with ease. It also features baskets specifically designed for freshly ground coffee. However, there are still much better alternatives on the market that deliver more. Run straight are cylindrical and feature cleaner holes. That would definitely make for a meaningful upgrade or update for the machine. So you could actually enhance your machine yourself by checking around. there might just be the perfect portafilter available for it out there. We are going to search for a suitable portafilter ourselves and will include the link for you in the description below. But make sure to pay close attention. Here's a 14-gram basket included, and that makes perfect sense because it really emphasizes the next significant drawback of this plastic insert design. A larger basket simply wouldn't fit in there at all. This means once again KitchenAid is really shooting themselves in the foot with this design. The shower is positioned relatively high up, which still allows you to fill this small basket completely with 17 grams of coffee without any problems. And in that way, you're still within the target ratio we always recommend, where you can brew, for instance, 17 grams times 2, resulting in 34 grams out for a well-balanced, consistent, and flavorful extraction every time. And that's a really nice result for a double espresso. Next up, let's talk about volumetric dosing. Volumetric dosing is the actual process of dispensing the water, specifically the brew water, or ultimately the final beverage. You can set this up relatively easily yourself here. And if you program it to output 50 grams, then in principle 50 grams will come out, assuming everything is calibrated correctly. So first of all, huge props to you for that solid effort made. Then again, it's the same old story with the portafilter, nothing new to report there. Because of this construction, the plastic inlay, and the way the coffee is filled, water gets trapped somewhere inside, which then keeps dripping afterward, leading to a persistent and annoying problem. It continues to drip afterward on one hand when the shot is already done, and it also drips when you take out and knock out the portafilter completely. And that results in, if you don't pull the cup away immediately after the extraction, you'll end up with excess liquid in the tray. First, you end up having a change in the amount of brewing water or coffee, and of course, it leads to quickly messing up the path to your drip tray with annoying drops on the work surface, creating an unnecessary mess that could have been easily avoided by simply removing the cup right after extraction. That's something that's a bit annoying, but you can get used to it. You just have to be aware of it, and you probably always keep a rag right there near the machine for convenience, with which you then quickly guide the portafilter over to the knock box. This way, you can effectively avoid having any drops on the work surface. This is an espresso machine with the ability to steam milk, and it operates, I would say, in a solid and reliable thermoblock style quite efficiently. You'll need to wait a little until it reaches the right temperature. After that, you can use it to steam milk. It definitely requires a good amount of patience and focus. The steam one doesn't have much power, so you really need to pay close attention and carefully adjust the angle to create a strong enough vortex to properly move the entire milk. That's really not a strength of the machine, but it is definitely doable. So you can still make very, very nice and delicious cappuccinos with it, even with proper latte art. It's definitely doable, it just takes a bit of practice, but if you're willing to invest that in this machine and your latte art skills and pouring cappuccinos, then it's absolutely possible. To brew delicious and also good-looking cappuccinos, one thing that should be mentioned is that the machine comes with a vibration pump, which is pretty standard and expected for a machine in this price category. However, it vibrates quite noticeably. The vibration also transfers quite significantly here to the cup tray, and on the other hand, down here to the small base. And this brings along a few issues and challenges that you'll notice. Firstly, it makes it louder. It's actually a quiet machine, typically running at around 60 decibels. Is that really not very loud? Through the cups, it becomes a bit louder. And especially depending on how fine you ground it, the cups start to dance and move across the countertop, making a bit of noise as they shift around slightly there, which can be quite noticeable. And that makes aiming the coffee into the cups with this portafilter even a little more challenging than before. And with that, we're back to the portafilter. But let's save that. We've already talked enough about the portafilter. What truly deserves attention here is the remarkably low power consumption of this specific device itself. Since we are essentially already hot after just 2 minutes, at least with the thermoblock, we have achieved the lowest energy consumption value among all the measurements we have conducted so far. The machine practically doesn't need any power after brewing. You could turn it off again because it heats up so quickly. That's really, really good. If you're more interested in the specific values, please check out the blog post for all the details. But just to clarify, the process becomes slightly slower with the portafilter because it isn't already up to temperature on the side, which adds a bit of delay. So much for the KitchenAid Artisan espresso machine, which surprised us in a positive way and which we can genuinely recommend without hesitation. It's a solid choice for anyone looking for efficiency and quality. For getting started in the world of espresso brewing, here you'll find a high-quality, beautiful, good, solid entry-level espresso machine that excels especially in the basics, namely temperature consistency, and of course the precision of volumetrics, making it a reliable choice. Does an excellent job, and with that you'll have fun, can make fantastic espresso, and there are practically no limits. And if you notice that an espresso doesn't taste quite right, you can even adjust and explore different ranges with the temperature settings. I wish you lots of fun with it. And to everyone who might already have the machine and has some experience, a warm invitation, please share it in the comments, because your comments can definitely expand this review, as the experiences in everyday life are really important for understanding how the operation feels in daily use and what practical aspects might stand out over time for different users in various situations. Best wishes, enjoy your coffee, bye, and see you soon.